Mine's up, y'all. This is your girl, Takia Diamond, and I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Transformation Tag Team Tuesday. This is where it all goes down. We start from 8 a.m. to 12 noon, and then we start again from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., right? And I am usually your last slot, okay? So tonight, I may be your last slot. Somebody else might come on after me, but I just had to stick to my time because I got some other things I got to rock out too. So it's all good. So why did I call you in here tonight? I invited you into this live tonight because earlier this morning, we were talking about awakening. Are you spiritually awakening? Are you noticing the changes that are taking place around you, that are taking place in you? Are you noticing that there's different decisions that you're starting to make because you no longer feel aligned to the same people, places, things, or whatever the case might be, right? And so, as an awakened being, God shared this slide for me. As an awakened being, there's a lot of beliefs that we may have had prior to our awakening. And so since we've had these beliefs that were downloaded into us by our parents, our teachers, our religious organizations, and whatever else may have influenced our thinking, especially when it comes to money, we've been taught how to really keep money away from us, like how to struggle, how to fight, and just all of this stuff, right? And so, what I'm presenting to you guys tonight is the next level understanding of money, okay? Because there's two completely different paradigms that are running when it comes to money, and I can prove it to you just by showing you that cryptocurrency is one way, but we're not going to get into cryptocurrency tonight, okay? But what I want to say is, tonight we are going to talk about reasons why money is important for people who are awakening souls, okay? And it's imperative that you have money. So I don't really want to focus on who taught you what, who said what, or whatever the case might be. What I want to bring to you right now is the next level understanding on a quantum level of how to actually begin to shift your situation when it comes to your finances, okay? It is what it is. Start operating from this place and you will see a difference, okay? So let's go ahead and explore the 7 reasons why money is important for awakening souls, all right? The first thing that you need to know is that if you don't value money in itself, you have to at least value the outcome of what it brings into your life, okay? So as an awakening soul, you have to look at it from this aspect, okay? Because if you look at it from this aspect, then there won't be much of a resistance towards it, if there's any resistance at all, okay? So focus on the outcome of what financial freedom can do for you, what money can do for you. And when you come from that aspect, it won't be, money will chase you rather than you chasing money, all right? So number one, the first reason why, if you are an awakening soul, why it's important for you to have money is because money is the representation of power, right? When you have money, the person behind the money is the one that has the power, right? Because it's really about what you do with the money that makes it so-called good or evil or whatever beliefs that you might have heard around money. But let's face it, right? Money gives you access to resources at the end of the day, right? And it also gives you access to people. So how can you evolve on your spiritual journey and you want to do things for the planet, you want to do things for the world, but you broke, you can't do it, okay? So you have to understand that money allows you to get, to have, and to achieve, access to the people that you need to connect to in order to make that dream come to life. Anything that you want, anything that you need, especially since you could even hire other people to do what it is that you don't know how to do because you have the funding in order to be able to do that. So this is why it's important for people who are awakening souls to money is important for you, okay? And so even though you a lot of people that are on a spiritual path have adopted the belief that money is filthy, money is dirty, money is no good, money causes all of these problems. But the reason why it's doing that is because that is their focus when it comes to money. But when you have money and you're utilizing money as the tool, because you have to remember, money is actually just a tool. It's the means of exchange, whether it's in it's the means of exchange for products and services, okay? And so this is how you get things done. This is the way that humanity has accepted as the means of exchange in order for us to do business, okay? And so if you want to open up like an orphan home, or you want to do something for like cancer patients, research, or whatever the case might be, right? At the end of the day, you are going to need money to support your desire, okay? You're going to need any significant scale or any significant thing that's going to be powerful in the world requires funding, okay? So yes, money is power. It has the power when the person behind it uses it, in a powerful way, in a positive way. Although, keep in mind, money could be used for the wrong way. So I'm saying to you, as an awakened soul, the money has to get in the hands of somebody who has a clean heart and who has a clean mind. And this is the reason why, awakening souls, it's important for you to have money, okay? So I'll tell you something that's really, really important, okay? The reason why a lot of charitable companies fall off is because a lot of the things that they want to do and they want to implement are based on donations only, right? And so if they're not scaling their business and they're not up leveling their company in some way for them to actually profit, right, then they can't scale their business. That means that it's not a business, it's just a charity, and the only thing that they can do is collect donations and do business from donations, which does what? It limits the amount of different things that they could do, what they could give for, different things like that, right? So if your organization is to truly change the world, you have to scale that organization, meaning you have to find the different levels and different ways that you can make money having that organization so that you can keep money in the flow so that you'll be able to do bigger things. Because what happens is if you could duplicate what you've already started where you are in 50 other states, or one in each country, and each country there's somebody running the organization, or the nonprofit organization, or the for-profit organization that you have, and you have somebody there to actually, excuse me, my throat is dry and I got the fan over here. I know I'm bugging. So anyway, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, you have to be able to make more money in your business in order for you to do bigger things. That's the point that I'm making. All right. If you really want to change the world, you got to generate profit on services, on products and things. If you're doing a charitable thing, then you need to sell T-shirts. Like, you got to make some kind of profit. Okay. And then it will become a conscious driven business. Okay. So that's the key, is that when you're thinking about, starting a business, or even if it's a allegedly charitable organization, create a business model out of this organization, okay? Because then again, it becomes a consciousness driven business, okay? And so that's what we need. This is why it's important for people who are on the path to ascension and people who are awakened souls to, have the money to do what we need to do. Number two, the reason why you need money is because, as an awakening soul, is because the lack of money brings suffering, right? A poor relationship with money leads to accumulating debts. It leads to playing small because you can't do the things that you want to do. And even probably puts you in these terrible living situations that you don't really want to be in, which has you all constricted, and money can't flow in those constrictions. It's very limited as to how it can flow because your thinking, your energy is constricted, okay? So I want you to ask yourself this question. How does it feel not being able to pay your bills? Does it feel good? No, it doesn't feel good. How does it feel to not have the means that you need, and you have to actually depend on other people to get things done? It doesn't feel good, right? How does it feel, when you are playing so much smaller than you know that you can actually play, when you know that your soul is calling for you to do something bigger, but you can't invest in yourself because you don't have the money to do it. How does that make you feel? It makes you feel terrible. So this is why I'm telling you, as a person who is on the path of ascension and you are an awakening soul, it's important for you to have money. Okay, so the lack of money does what? It brings stress, it drains your energy, and it even isolates you because you can't participate in a lot of events that you want to go to or participate in because you don't have the funding to do so, right? A lot of people say, you want God to control your life, right? But really, it's like, you having the ability to have this financial support is what is actually controlling your life, right? Every decision that you make, every decision is based on how much money you got, the lack of money, what's not available, what is available, right? At the end of the day, this is the problem, right? So when money goes before God, when it comes before any other decision that you make, whether it's for greed, whether it's for lack or whatever, bad things begin to happen. So what I'm saying is that you don't want to use money for the wrong things. Okay, as an awakened soul, you need the money so that you can do great things with it. Okay, and that's why it belongs to you. That's why it belongs in your hand. All right. And so what I'm saying to you is, at the end of the day, we know that God didn't say, okay, I gotta wait for water to be on sale in order for me to build the Grand Canyon, right? He didn't say that. So we understand that the source consciousness, right, it doesn't make decisions based on money. So when your money consciousness is different and you are tuned to the frequency of financial abundance, financial energy, and your vibration is in a place of receiving, to where you're actually allowing the flow of money to come into you, you don't have to make the decisions because the funds will show up. And not only that, when you're operating from a level of higher consciousness and a different paradigm of thinking, which I'm going to get into next, when you're dealing with a different level of paradigm of thinking, what ends up happening is you end up attracting people who can help you with what it is that you need to do, who can help you direct your money, who can help you do the right things. You know what I'm saying? So, and not only that, your own mind will begin to answer the questions that you have. Okay, you'll be sitting down, you'll be typing, or you'll be chilling, you'll get this fabulous idea, and then you do nothing with it. Okay, so that's a problem. All right, so what I'm sharing with you is on another level. As an awakened soul, I need you to come over to the other side, and we're going to talk about why. Okay, now number 3 is that you need to have money in order for you to live the way that you truly want, right? Again, you got goals, you got dreams, you got desires, whether it's to travel the world, whether it's a luxurious home, whether it's to help those in need. It doesn't matter. You cannot make those dreams a living, breathing, physical reality without the funding to do so. Okay, money allows you to free up your time. Money allows you to free up your mind. Okay, at the end of the day, that you cannot be attached to money. Okay, money allows you to free up your creativity so that you could do things that are more creative. When I say to you that the money actually follows you and it becomes a magnet to you, is because you're not putting any type of thoughts and energy or resistance against the money actually coming into your life. Okay, so if you had all of the money in the world, right? If money wasn't an issue, how would you want to live your life? Okay, would you rather look at your days like, oh my God, I wish I would have did this, I wish I would have did that? Or do you prefer to have all the money, and money wasn't an issue, right? And you can actually do what you want to do. It would be like, ask yourself these questions. How would I spend my vacations? Where would I go? Where would I eat? What type of car would I drive? What city would I move to? What state would I live in? Things like that, right? And so if you're actually connected to your higher spirit, then you would get bored with not contributing anything with your skills and talents. Because when you're connected to your higher self, it pushes you. It drives you to go sing. It drives you to go write that record. It drives you to write that poem. It drives you to write that book. It drives you to show up before this organization and speak before these women or these men or this congregation or this group of people or whatever. Okay, so it's something that you will notice that is going to happen. Okay, and you need the money in order for you to be able to achieve your goals in life. All right. Now, very, very important. You need money in order for you to play a bigger game. Okay. You got to have money in order for you to play a bigger game. If you have little money, there's only but so much that you could achieve or contribute to the world. You know, when I think about it, I feel like God didn't create the universe based on lack. He created the universe based on plenty, right? Any lack or limitation is man-made, guys. All right. So living an opulent life, like, you're supposed to do that, right? And it basically means being open to the flow of money inside of you and then showing up outside of you, right? To earn more, to live more, to circulate more, because what you put out will come back to you, but only if you're in the vibration of receiving it, okay? So as you begin to spend more money or circulate more money, you allow others to have a better quality of life. You want to know how? Because if you didn't patronize that store or you didn't buy whatever product it was from that person, then that person wouldn't be able to feed their kids or pay their rent or whatever the case may be. So I'm saying, you know, we got to see this from a deeper level, from a deeper perspective, okay? So you are meant to enjoy the lifestyle that is not constrained by money, okay? So you're also meant to achieve greater purposes that are not constrained by money, okay? So the crazy part about it, for both lifestyles and purpose, you need access to the resources and the people and the flexibility in a scalable way, okay? And so this is what money allows. So we want to look at it from that aspect. What does money allow, right? The number 5 is society cannot thrive without money, okay? And it can't. I mean, think about it. We got all these different things going on in society, but okay, let me not jump around, because I know me, I'll jump around. The idea that's been flourishing in the minds of many awakening souls is this whole thing about this moneyless society, right? Now, although the idea sounds great, right, it's really coming from a dysfunctional place, okay? It basically, it cannot be implemented, and it leads to a whole bunch of other problems. And I'm going to tell you how it leads to other problems, right? The only other alternatives, if we don't utilize money as the exchange, is bartering, right? Or giving things to people for free, right? If you give freely, right? And bartering is your system, right? And you don't have what you have anymore because you gave it to somebody else, and there's no way to scale that, you're kind of jacked up, okay? Get what I'm saying? So basically, it would be like giving me taking an egg and you taking an egg without having any chickens to hatch the eggs. So once you eat your egg, once I eat my egg, once the chicken is eaten, I don't even eat meat, but I like this example. Once the chicken is eaten, once all of that, so eventually somebody's going to starve, which means that what? You got to scale the chicken. So what do? What do they do in this society is they increase the production of the chicken so that they could produce more eggs so that they can make more money, right? So unfortunately, it's a terrible thing to a certain extent, but it's, you know, their focus is to keep money generating. You know, they're not worried about all of the other stuff, okay? So let me give it to you. Oh, you know what? Let me not forget to tell you this, right? If you barter, what happens if the person that owns the food doesn't need what you have? You see why we need money? What happens if what you need the person doesn't have, or what they need you don't have? Like, how does that happen? You get what I mean? So let me give it to you from a more modern perspective, right? So the main problem with bartering is that you're mostly limited to what you could produce with your own hands, okay? So what if you want to have a computer that's like this really highly advanced computer? You're going to need people. You're going to need a team to put that together, right? You're going to need a team to come together and do that. And nobody is going to be able to produce that with their own hands. And it's impossible. Think about the iPhone. It's impossible to have that through bartering. You can't barter somebody creating an iPhone for you and you give them 2 pieces of chicken. It's not a match. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the reason why we can never really go back to bartering, but we can't go to the whole electronic aspect of cryptocurrency, which I'm not going to discuss on this live. But we'll get into the whole thing is. I'm not going to jump around. Anyway, let me follow my strategy, okay? So at the end of the day, one more thing that I want to give you is the philosophical way, okay? So from a philosophical perspective, the desire to actually have a moneyless society is really coming from a desire to not deal with money, okay? And so from a place of lack, it's coming from a place of lack, it's coming from a place of scarcity, right? Now, perhaps, I don't know, maybe in the future it's possible to live and act like the whole Star Trek movement or whatever, right? Without money. But in order for this to happen, all the people who are involved in that movement, they have to first come from an abundance consciousness, right? So in order for us to create a cashless society, it's not like it can't be done. But the thing is that everybody, majority of the people, in our world, the society that we live in, it's like it can't be that money supply cannot be created with the scarcity consciousness that is alive in the world today, right? So that's the reason why it's almost impossible for that to take place anytime soon until the vibration level of many souls, can actually elevate. And as I stated before, they're starting that with the whole cryptocurrency, which if you can get in it now while it's at the rate that it's at, because it's going to skyrocket and things are going to change in our money system in that way. I'm warning you ahead of time. Don't say I didn't tell you, okay? Number 6, and then I got one more to go. So awakening souls, we've got to create a new paradigm of life, okay? So the current paradigm of life, meaning the current way of thinking, the current way that we operate, okay, in life and in business, it's basically destroyed our planet, okay? And perhaps you might have had a bad relationship with money because maybe you lost a lot of money or whatever, or you might have heard a bunch of beliefs when it comes to money. So it's almost like you stay away from it. You don't want anything to do with it. And as awakening souls, it's our responsibility to create a new paradigm of life that's actually aligned with the spiritual laws of life, okay? So we have to come from the spiritual laws perspective and come away from the whole paper perspective, because it's on a completely different frequency, okay? So a system that's actually rooted in harmony with nature, harmony with each other, right? And just abundance where each individual can actually live their full potential. That is when change in consciousness happens, right? And that has to happen first before we can actually start, trying to change the financial consciousness of the collective. We have to first get that funding in your own pocket so that you can do what you need to do with it, which leads me into the next thing, okay? Let me not forget to say this, that change happens in the consciousness first, okay? Then it must be applied, like I told you guys earlier, go back to that live, into the physical world through your actions, the actions that you take, okay? All right, so the last one is the power of money has to come into clean hands, okay? You are needed, okay? You are needed. You, dear awakened soul, you are needed, okay? There are people who are hungry for power for all the wrong reasons, okay? And there are other people who are in power who create carelessness or could really they could care less about the impact that they have on the world. So they continue to do it their way, right? And they're operating from human laws. They're not operating from spiritual laws, okay? So the laws that actually apply to them don't have to apply to you. It's just that we've adopted them because we've been taught to utilize those. And so that's why we stayed in that level of understanding and that level of consciousness, okay? So what was I about to say? Well, at the end of the day, guys, in order to actually change the world, right, money has to flow into the new paradigm. And guess who has to create that paradigm? Awakened souls. We do, okay? So the main thing is that, when we utilize the spiritual laws of life, in the physical world, we actually alter the way that business is done. And what we do is we end up reshaping the system, Okay, and that's what has to happen in order for this change to take place, right? So you have to make the distinction between source consciousness, money energy, okay, and the paper bill that represents it, okay? The reason that the world is in so much debt with who I don't know, but it's because money is printed out of thin air. They just print it out. They just create it and they put it out there, right? But the central banks create it, right? And so they charge you interest on paper that they're just printing up. They give it value or whatever the case may be. We've accepted it, and that's just that. However, think about this, right? If they're saying that our country is in debt or that the world is in an economic depression or whatever the case might be, if that's true, that means that there's not enough money flowing in order for that to be covered for. You understand what I mean? It means that they are creating this situation, right? Because they know that at the end of the day, right, in order for this whole thing to change, the whole structure has to change, which means like even your mind has to change. If there's not enough money that's circulating, that means you're going to be in fear about paying it back. You're going to be struggling with paying it back. It never gets paid back. And your finances become like this really big issue at the end of the day, right? And so there has to be a way for you to increase your wealth from a different paradigm. This is what wealthy people do, okay? I too I'm exercising this, and I've seen change in just a short time that I've been using, you know, or changing my consciousness to operating from, you know, a financially abundant consciousness. So I'm saying to you that it is going to require you to operate at a different level of consciousness when it comes to financial abundance. It's not the same consciousness as the dollar bill, okay? So the only solution in order for that to change, guys, is we have to change the structure of the central banking system. Cryptocurrency is doing that, okay, making them lose any type of connection to it has no connection to the central banking system, okay. And so the main thing is that right now there are more millionaires in the world than ever before because people are raising their consciousness, people are raising their vibration. So the question I have for you is, why aren't you? All right, you are an awakened soul, and as an awakened soul, this is a part of your journey, is to, you know, make sure that you are operating in that vibration of financial abundance, so that financial abundance can flow to you, so you can flow it out and circulate it out, so it can come back to you, and you can keep reproducing whatever it is that you are producing to be an asset in the world. All right, so the transfer, in closing, the transfer of power, it happens in the mind, okay? It happens in the mind, all right? When I say the transfer of power, I'm talking about the transfer of power, the transfer of money. This consciousness happens in your mind. It happens in your body, okay? So by owning the power of money in your own consciousness, instead of being a slave to it, as we have been taught to be, you will contribute to actually transferring that power into a new paradigm of reality, which is where we need to go, okay? So I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope that this live has helped you a lot. If you have any questions, I am definitely recommending that you get a copy of my new book, From Poverty to Profit. You can visit the website, povertytoprofit.org, or you can inbox me to go ahead and get your copy of this book. This book is serious. It is filled with so many different solutions to a lot of the financial concerns that you might have in your life, okay? And so in this book, I'm teaching you what money is, what mind is. I'm teaching you about your money mindset. I'm teaching you about your money blocks. I'm teaching you how to break up with brokeism, how to break that relationship off, you know, how to utilize law of attraction for financial abundance, how to understand energy and frequency when it comes to money. I got how to produce income, 4 ways to produce income, how to produce passive income. I give you passive income ideas. This book is the truth, and it is worth the value, okay, of $25. It's actually $30 on any other site. However, you can get this book for me for $25. This book is being turned into a course very shortly, and you will only be able to get in the book, get a copy of the book if you enroll in the course. Okay, so go ahead and get yourself a copy of this book. Hit me up. Let's meet up. Let's connect, and go ahead and get you a copy of From Poverty to Profit. Again, the website is www.povertytoprofit.org. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Mine's up. Deuces. Have a beautiful day. And I hope this live was awesome for you. Make sure you visit the site. Make sure you share this live. And get that money up. Change your consciousness. Change your trajectory. Change the direction that you've been thinking about money. And start operating from the awakened soul that you are.